The UEFA Champions League is a prestigious trophy that has been won by many players and many teams. But who would you have in an all-time Champions League 11? Find out on the balls coming up. Welcome to On the Ball. My name is Gabriel and this is Talking Points, the show where we discuss noteworthy things that happen over the football weekend, particularly with regards to the Premier League. But every now and again we switch things up, and this episode is one of those times because we'll be focusing on the UEFA Champions League and who it fits in an all-time 11. But before we discuss all of that, if this is your first time on the channel and you want to see more videos like this one, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you know when the next video is released. The formation we'll use is a 4-3-3-1, and we'll start off in goals with former Spanish international and, in my opinion, the greatest goalkeeper of all time, Iker Casillas. The former Real Madrid captain holds the record for the most appearances by any player with 177. He also holds the record for having the most clean sheets in the competition with 57 and being the youngest goalkeeper to win at 19 years 4 days. Most importantly, Casillas is a 3-time winner with Real Madrid. At right back we have Sergio Ramos, the current captain of Real Madrid. One of the best defenders of his generation, Ramos is fierce, strong, aggressive, and sometimes accused of being reckless. It's hard to argue as he's the most carded player in the Champions League with 40 yellow cards and 4 red cards, and is the joint most sent-off player in the competition. But what's even more impressive is that he has won the competition 4 times and has scored 13 goals in the Champions League. Our first centre-back is a World Cup winner, European champion and 3-time Champions League winner, Carlos PUYOL. PUYOL served as Barcelona captain from 2004 after the retirement of Luis Enrique. He played 115 Champions League matches, receiving just 1 card in his entire playing career against Arsenal in 2010. Like Ramos, PUYOL is regarded as one of the greatest defenders of his generation. The second centre-back is not only regarded as one of the greatest defenders of all time, but one of the greatest players of all time, Paolo Maldini. Like Puyol, he's a one-club man, having played his entire career at AC Milan. He's the 1994 World Soccer Magazine Player of the Year and a 5-time European Cup and Champions League winner. At 36 years, 333 days, he's the oldest player to score in a final, and at 38 years, 331 days, he's the oldest captain to lift a trophy. He is one of 2 players to appear in a record 8 finals and one of 9 players to win the competition 5 times. There are far too many words to describe how good a defender Maldini was, but a simple yet effective description does come to mind: the best. At left back we have Philipp Lahm. Despite being the only player on this team to have won just 1 Champions League trophy, he was instrumental at the back and valiantly captained Jupp Heynckes Bayern to a treble that season, a team that was near unstoppable. He made 112 Champions League appearances in his career, and perhaps one of his most incredible achievements is not having received a single red card, not only in the Champions League but in his entire playing career of over 750 matches. The first of our midfield trio is Clarence Seedorf, the first and only player to win the competition with 3 separate clubs and a 4-time winner in total. He's regarded as one of the best midfielders of his generation and one of the most successful midfielders in the tournament's history. The next 2 midfielders both hail from La Masia and are both 2-time European champions, World Cup winners and 4-time winners of the UEFA Champions League. In my opinion, they are the greatest midfield duo in football history. They are Andres Iniesta and Xavi Hernandez. Both have also been placed in high positions in the Ballon d'Or rankings over their careers, and surely would have won in any generation without a certain 2 players still to be featured in this team. Next up are our attacking options, and it's hard to look past Raúl González Blanco as our striker. The former Madrid man is considered to be one of the most important strikers in the club's entire history and scored over 300 goals in 16 seasons for Los Blancos. He's also the Champions League's 3rd highest goal scorer with 71 goals and has won it 3 times in his career with Real Madrid. On our left we have the greatest player in the history of the UEFA Champions League, and that is Cristiano Ronaldo. Despite this being an all-time 11 and featuring some of the greatest players the game has ever seen, you'll be surprised to know that he's the first player on this team to have won a Ballon d'Or, having won 5 of them. He's also the competition's top goal scorer and only one of 2 players to have scored over 100 goals with 129. And he has registered the most assists in the Champions League with 40. Cristiano is also the only player in the modern era to have won the UEFA Champions League on 5 separate occasions. Finally, on our right, we have the most gifted and the greatest player of all time, Lionel Messi. He is our second player in the team to have won the Ballon d'Or trophy, having won it a record 6 times in his career. He scored 114 goals in the competition and has registered 35 assists, both second only to Cristiano. Messi is also a 4-time winner of the competition, twice having won it as part of a treble along with Andres Iniesta and Xavi Hernandez. In a team dubbed the greatest team of all time, Lionel Messi was the standout player and is the greatest player ever to have graced the game. That completes On The Ball's all-time Champions League 11, and it'll be a few years before there'll be any changes to this team. Perhaps Raul might have his place taken by the phenomenal Karim Benzema, who is tied 4th for most goals in the competition, just 7 behind Raul. Or Philipp Lahm might have his place taken by the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's only getting better with age. But that's in the years to come, and this is now. The final team looks like this: Iker Casillas in goals, Ramos and Lahm as the fullbacks with Puyol and Maldini in between them. Seedorf, Iniesta and Xavi make up our midfield trio, and Raul leads the line with Messi and Ronaldo either side of him. Who would you have in your all-time Champions League 11? Is there any team you can think of that would be good enough to beat this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's special episode of Talking Points. Thanks for giving the video a watch. Like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit the bell notification icon so you know when the next video is released. I'll talk to you again soon. Adios.